Hey guys, welcome back. This is Jurrier Garage. I'm Davis, this is Tristan. Today we're going to be working on my supercharged 680 swap Mustang. We got something really cool today. We're going to be installing a electric power steering rack from the 2011 to 14. I don't know if it came on the, it probably didn't come on the 2010s, but it's the newer Mustang style steering rack. Reason being, my Mustang is supercharged with a Department at Boost supercharger kit, and it uses the single belt drive. So this belt is ridiculously long. It's from a diesel truck. It's like 136 inches. So not very good when you're supercharged to have such a long belt, especially when, you know, you're in higher RPMs. You could shred a belt. I've already done that. Kind of took out some of my interior stuff there, literally shot out the roof.
Also, Davis has had to buy an 8-rib and then cut like 2 ribs off of it every time he uses it. And so, like, that's not good either. So now he has a complete 8-rib conversion.
So in addition to the power steering swap, it's a perfect opportunity to convert to an 8-rib belt system. Got everything I need here, all my idlers. I got custom
The supercharger?
Yeah, custom supercharger pulley, 8-rib, same 3-inch pulley.
What diameter is this one?
3 inches.
3 inches? What's that one?
3. I didn't want to pulley down. I mean, I kind of did, but yeah, it's whatever. I didn't want to get it retuned after that. I have a custom alternator pulley, also from Department of Boost for the Denso. And I have new pulley for the AC unit here, new clutch and all that. And then a 8-rib crank pulley. So this is off like a Navigator. And to make this all work with the power steering is the Race Car Services harness. I don't know if this is the company they're going by anymore. His website's not up right now, but his name's Casey on Facebook, and he, you know, clearly still making these things. Really high quality. He says he uses like military grade wiring, and this stuff's higher gauge than the standard stuff that would come on the Mustangs.
Yeah, and that's an expensive kit too, right? That wiring.
295. He has plug and play options where you just plug it right into the OBD2. I chose to get the one where you solder it in.
A little cheaper.
Yeah, it's a little cheaper, and I think it'll just look better than having like a thing plugged in.
Besides that, I mean, it basically is a plug and play, and then it takes all the guesswork out of your wiring. So that's cool.
All I got to do is power, ground, a power for the relay, and then the 2 CAN buses, plus and minus, and he's got diagrams for everything, and I'll be showing you guys the whole process of installing it. So if you have a Mustang, you don't even need to be supercharged to do this. If you have an NA Mustang, you can just swap to an electric power steering rack. You know, there's some pros and cons to doing electric power steering over hydraulic. Some people say hydraulic's better because you get more feel from the road. But these Mustang racks are pretty sophisticated, and they have like artificial feedback. Like when you're driving, it gets stiffer. There's a lot of technology in this, and it's pretty good. It'll basically feel like a hydraulic unit. It won't feel almost any different.
And it's not like this is a track car anyways, so it's like I don't think you'll ever need that feel. It's just a car that you drive and go fast if you want to. Technically,
I don't think there's any weight savings with this compared to the hydraulic unit. I mean, we will be deleting, you know, all the hydraulic fluid. This is kind of the primary reason I wanted to do it, is because I have my reservoir zip tied out of the way because I have my catch can in the way. But it'll delete the pump, less parasitic loss on the motor to drive that, and you know, you don't have a chance of leaking power steering fluid if you know, line breaks or something.
Yeah, so there's a lot of advantages to your car.
But yeah, guys, we're gonna go ahead and start. I think what we'll do first is just lift up the car, take off the wheels, unbolt the steering rack. Basically, it's just going to be these 2 bolts right there. This one isn't used on the one I have. Doesn't even have this, I don't think. And then the actual steering rack right here, the arm, tie rods, all that. Pull it out. We're just going to start with putting the rack in. And then we'll go to the belt drive, where we're going to need to probably remove the radiator just to give us a little bit more room in front to access everything. All right, guys, just got the car up in the air here. As you can see, got the wheels off. Gonna be next taking off the tie rod ends. Here's a better look under the car with the stock rack. So, little tie rod ends. And then these things here, those aren't actually nuts, they're welded in. They're non-removable. You have to remove the bolt from up top. So what you'd want to do is get a wrench up through the back. So this is like the front of the motor. Up through here to basically slowly but surely remove it. I think I might be able to get a wrench in there, but we'll have to see. It's only 2 bolts holding it in, and then a 8mm here for power steering line, and then right up there you can actually see the power steering pulley. So I see 3, they look to be like 13mm bolts that hold this in. Another guy there. I'll also have to figure out, you know, where all of them are supposed to lead to. Have to figure out how to get it down through here. There's obviously not a lot of room. I don't want to have to remove the oil filter, especially since the oil I buy is pretty expensive now. I'm getting 5W50. Don't have to remove that, but I might need to just to get it down. Obviously, we'll need to remove the belt. Yeah, that's the underside of the car. It's gonna be pretty easy. Oh yeah, and then lastly, the knuckle up there. Hopefully you guys can see it. It's kind of dark, but the steering knuckle, just unbolt that, and once it's ready to come out, it'll just slide. Some of these power steering lines, gonna be kind of hard to get out. I don't want to have to cut anything. I don't want to break anything. I don't want to leak fluid anywhere. I want to retain the rack at least for a little bit, just to make sure I don't have to put it back in for whatever reason. And then ultimately I could just resell this because it's a perfectly fine running power steering rack. So I'm gonna go ahead and start by disconnecting these guys here, and then probably going up top side, remove the intake so I can get to the actual steering knuckle and proceed from there. All right guys, got both tie rod ends off. This one kind of had a blowout. It was new, but I don't know. It's still good. They're really tight. The inners though were completely dead. Like I should have just replaced them, but I didn't. The new ones, they're pretty stiff. They're not like perfect. I just didn't buy replacements. So anyways, we'll probably measure these because this was a pretty good alignment, just so we can replicate it on this. We're about ready to start unbolting the actual rack. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the cover here, my intake. I actually might not need to do that. I think actually I'll have better access to the steering rack from the bottom now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I'll just do it from under there. Right up in there. There it is. Just unbolt that. It's like a 10 mil. Then a slide out. First, just got to figure out what size nut or bolt on the top it is. I think it's going to be some kind of big, so play around with that and we'll extract the power steering rack. I did unzip tie the reservoir here, and I think what we're gonna have to do is just finagle it out. I mean, there's no other real way about it. Oh yeah, obviously the pulley too, and take off the belt. There's just a lot of stuff, a lot of steps here, but you guys hopefully are following along. All right guys, just pulled the belt off the Mustang, and you can see how long this thing is. Like, man, you could like jump rope with this thing compared to the new one.
Look at that. It's almost half the length.
Yep.
A little bit longer than half, but still.
Yeah, this is like 132 or 136 inches. This is like 100 inches. So
Jesus Christ.
Drops almost 35, 36 inches, I think, a total. Obviously adds another rib. But yeah, I have to buy these 8 rib and then cut 2 ribs off. So I buy them kind of like this and then just take a razor.
Cut them.
Just such a long belt. I mean, it doesn't look like it's worn out or anything. I can see places where it might start cracking. The other side is pretty messed up now. But this thing was squeaking. It's a long belt. You can now access some of the belt drive stuff. Just start taking these off, you know. It'll be nice to remove all of them because some of them squeak. Less, you know, things to squeak. Slowly but surely making progress here.
All right, Davis wants to show you guys how he's accessing the steering rack bolts.
So obviously this is the passenger side, and you could access it from the front here, but I'm accessing it through the rear. Just 18 mil bolt, and slowly but surely doing it this way. I don't think I have room to fit my electric Milwaukee in. I don't think good.
Yeah, the angle's not right.
This side though, I can easily. There's tons of room right here. So this one I already broke loose, so I'll just get the ratcheting wrench on it, the electric wrench, and this one will just have to be by hand. But it's already loose, so I might be able to do it by hand. I don't know, like not even with the tool. Get that off, get this off, access through to the steering rack arm, just unbolt that 10 mil, and he'll be able to pull out, and we'll have to figure out how to finagle the reservoir, and the pump. Like I said, just like a 13 mil up there. You guys can't see anything because it's so garbled up there, but it's right in there. All right guys, don't got a lot of room under here because the car is not raised up that much. I'd recommend raising up a little bit more. You can see that's the steering arm right there. I just have to get to that bottom bolt right there, and we should be able to pull the steering rack out. As you can see, it's kind of already hanging. We forgot that was like the last part. So I'm gonna unbolt that. We'll be able to actually pull the rack out, and then we'll just need to work on the lines going to the pump and the reservoir. All right guys, got that unbolted. So Tristan's gonna try pulling it out from there now. Try maybe assisting here a little bit. Might need a pry bar or something. Oh, you got it. Came up. Okay. So yeah guys, you can see the
now we just have the lines hanging there.
Oh, I unbolted the wrong side. That's fine. We'll just unbolt the thing from it. Okay. So yeah, you can let it hang for now. Okay. If you just want to sit down. Don't put it on the lever, bro.
Well, you gotta go up with the lever, you know?
Oh, yeah, this can just...
Oh, watch out for that.
Oh, is there a bracket holding this on? We might need to remove the catch can. We're just going to make some more room. I think I'm going to remove the catch can here and the intake. Then we can work on getting to those bolts down in there. Yeah, it's really hard to see.
I think we might have to take this sway bar bushings up.
All right, guys, got my Pro Sport catch can out of here. So yeah, as you can see, there's like a bunch more room. This thing like didn't sound very full at all. I might need a wrench to get that off.
Nice O-ring on this thing. Nothing.
I heard something in it. Yeah, just some evaporative.
Basically nothing.
Like condensation in the lines.
That's literally nothing. Now there's way more room to actually move this around.
Yep. And way more room to get to the actual lines of the power steering unit. So 2 up top, and I think there's just 1 down below. Yep. Damn, look at that pulley. It was wobbly. A little bit.
It's not supposed to do that?
I don't think so. That was loose a little bit too.
Nice. So that's good.
It took like no force.
Saves us the trouble. Nice. Oh, those whole studs come out, don't they?
Yeah, it's not enough.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll get down there, work on the bottom one, but we're gonna unbolt this. Pretty big moment here. And then we'll try to snake it. Oh, does this go to a cooler? What the hell? I'm looking at this line here. It goes to some kind of front harness thing.
Does it go to your radiator?
I didn't think this had a, no, it definitely is not, no.
Well, it does go to...
This does, these cars never had that.
Maybe those metal lines snake up.
No, but do you see that line?
I do see it. Maybe it snakes up.
No, it goes down a bracket.
Steering.
I'm looking at it. It goes down to something in the bumper area here. I really don't want to have to remove my bumper. I'll have to look where that goes. I'm looking at it right here. I think maybe it just has really long lines to, I mean, it's like sandwiched between my heat exchanger and my AC condenser.
How many lines go to the steering rack?
It goes all the way to the other way.
Are there multiple lines going to the steering rack?
Yeah.
Maybe it snakes down in there.
And then it goes up and back over. I think it's just like a long line for cooling. They didn't put a cooler for it. They just made the lines really long. So that might mean I need to remove the bumper and my heat exchanger to get to it, which would really suck. We'll remove the top cowl area and have a better look here. All right, guys, we're gonna figure this out. There's a crazy line that basically from right here, you can see this lower line on the on the reservoir comes down. It goes back. It goes all the way over here, loops up, goes all the way back. So it seems like maybe a cooler. All right, guys, we will be right back. We're just gonna have to figure out this crazy line. I don't want to have to cut anything, but you know, I got a sawzall. I got an angle grinder. All right, guys. Oh yeah, we won't be able to pull it out because of that line. So we might need to undo the reservoir here because the reservoir return, the big one, can come down with it. This one literally is connected to a line that goes like squiggly through the front. So we might lose fluid, which would really suck because it's so up high, it's gonna get everywhere.
Can you turn it upside down?
Well, no, the thing is, like I said, we still have to remove this line to even get this out.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we're gonna lose fluid either way, but
yeah, okay. We just have to accept that fact, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and get like a bolt or something I can shove into this line so it doesn't leak, and then maybe a cup to pour this into. And from there, I think we can just snake the actual power steering pump towards the front because we have more room to drop it down with the rest of the steering rack and pull everything. All right, guys, we got the reservoir moved out of the way. We just disconnected that line. You can kind of see it here just with a bolt in there to stop it from leaking. We're gonna leave this there for now and see about removing it later. Right now, what Tristan's doing is unbolting the sway bar down there just so we have more room for the actual pump to come down, because right now it's kind of resting on the pump. And with that out there, it'll just give us just a little bit more room that we need to get it out. Otherwise, if you're doing this job, I'd recommend doing this like in an oil change so you can actually remove the filter. It'll give you way more room just to pull it out without having to do much else. But yeah, slowly making progress here. He's removing the sway bar like I mentioned, so we can start pulling it out there. I also removed one of these pulleys, this one right here, just to squeeze it past. All right, got the sway bar down. Hopefully we don't dent my oil filter. Yeah, I can see it's like, man.
It's like wedged.
Yeah.
In between the
there.
the harmonic balancer and the oil filter.
It's in something else right now. Oh, woo!
Got it.
Hopefully I didn't. Oh wait, you're grabbing my arm.
Oh.
There you go.
Taking you with me.
Yep.
All right.
Is that it? Oh boy.
It is out.
Hell yeah, dude. Oh, no help up.
Oh.
I was offering a hand. There you go.
Thanks.
All right. Yep, there she is, all tangled up in the...
Yep, all tangled up. So
we'll just flip it over the sway bar.
Yeah.
Oh, it's heavy. Okay. Oh, what is that line going to?
It's going to that one up here, I think, right? Is it not?
Yeah, it's going to the bottom of this part of the line. So we just have to disconnect it down there. No, not cut it. Disconnect it.
You're like, I got a sawzall. You're not going to cut anything in this video.
Kind of sad, right? Yeah.
Almost. Then it's going to squirt. Not too bad. This thing a little heavy.
A little bit. Whew. Nice.
Alright.
Whew, boy.
Okay, yeah, I think that's
comparable.
Maybe even a little heavier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Some people were like thinking maybe it'd be a weight savings, but I mean...
Definitely is not if you feel that thing's chunky.
Here, hold this on give it a shot here. Yeah, that's pretty light. I mean, no fluid in it, but... Yeah, this is heavier.
Definitely heavier. Probably by like 5-10 pounds.
Yeah. So.
But way less to go wrong as well. You know what I mean?
Yep. All these lines. I mean, obviously, not gonna have to drive this pulley. Not gonna have to have a reservoir with fluid that'll leak because, I mean, the car's 2008. There's definitely gonna be leaks on this thing, even minor ones.
Right. Yeah, I see. Well, and I don't think it was those lines, but I saw a little bit of seepage on some of the lines under your car.
This one always had leaks on it.
Oh, really? Maybe it was that one then. But yeah, so that should be way better of a swap.
Yeah, and there's so much more room now with the power steering pump out too.
Yeah, look at this big void. So like for a turbo maybe?
A lot of people actually relocate their alternator. Well, they can potentially because there's like a kit for the Coyotes or the GT500s where it relocates it where the power steering was. So it kind of clear up the top of the motor, make it look a little bit, cleaner.
That sounds better.
Yep.
Instead of having it right there, honestly. But then again, probably replacing your alternator when it's right there is way easier.
I already have the custom bracket with Department of Boost and stuff, so. I definitely want to power wash some of this stuff, just clean up.
Yeah, it got kind of gross in here.
We should definitely get some of the, tools all back together, just clean up everything organized before we continue with the next part. Next part, we're going to be removing these brackets, going to be draining the coolant. We're going to be moving this, hopefully. I don't have to drain the intercooler system at all. And then we'll just start by taking off the pulleys. All that water pump's fine, can stay. Basically, the big ticket items are going to be the crank and then the AC.
Yep, those are going to be hard to get to. Once everything's out, it won't be, but that's why he's doing it.
Yep, just give us more room to work.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way you could get a crank puller on the harmonic balancer with
even
that
just like an impact.
It is compact, but we'll see about that. I don't think you have a chance with the radiator in. No chance. He almost is doing it.
No, I need to remove the fan at least.
Yeah, and then the bolt would have to have room to come out too, so it's like...
So, I mean, even if I just remove the fans, that might be enough room. I don't know how I'm removing the fans with the intercooler lines in front of it.
Yeah, you have to snake them out. Because if you unhook the fans could come straight up and out.
Yeah. Let's not drain anything. Let's actually just unbolt these top reservoirs.
And see what...
Pull it out, unbolt the fans, and maybe I could leave the radiator in.
Well, let's try that. All right, guys, we'll be right back after we unbolt those things and see what we see.
All right, guys, we got the 2 bolts off as well as the relay for it, so this should just come straight up.
Nice.
Big fan.
One big fan.
Looking at getting some low-profile fans. This thing's like huge.
Ooh, that's like with that's probably like 5 inches wide.
I mean, it cools really well.
So. Yeah. Well, hey, we got some Camaro ones we don't use anymore.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Look, you got so much room for activities. Yeah, I know it is thin, isn't it?
That's perfect amount of room, actually. I don't need anything else, I don't think.
We'll just have to move these up front.
Yeah.
Ow. Can that go up and over?
That's fine. If we wanted to, we could swoop this under and over, but it's fine as is. We don't really even need it. It just obstructs view. But if I get the...
Holy crap.
Pros.
Freaking burbs.
See if this can take off the crank bolt here.
Let's do it. Let's see it.
You got the camera down in there.
Can it do it? Let's see. It cannot.
So I'll get the air impact, and hopefully that will be enough.
Hopefully it will fit under there.
Well, it should. There's
the air impact, yeah. Not the big chungus.
The electric one will not, unless we take out the radiator.
Right.
So
okay.
Small radiator too, which is pretty crazy. Like,
does a good job though.
Yep. And just to take the radiator out, all you need to do is disconnect the lower line, the top line, and then this bracket, and then it'll just lift up and out. So.
All right. Well, we should start pumping up the compressor. While he gets that out, I'll turn on the compressor, and we'll be right back with that. Can it do it? It certainly can. I may have spoke too soon. Well, we might have to wait for it to refill. I did not expect this.
I know, neither did I.
I felt like that was going to zip it off immediately.
Yep.
I see the rust getting knocked off. You're doing it.
Yeah.
You're doing it right.
I don't want to heat it up because I don't want to mess up any.
Oh my God, your battery's smoking. Again.
Oh, this is the bad one. Maybe I should grab. Or no, this is the good one.
How many smoking batteries is Milwaukee going to give you?
Yeah, this is the good new one.
Oh, good. Smoking after using it for 2 seconds.
Yep. You know,
how did the air impact and that not do it?
You know, we could put the battery back in, and we get a breaker bar and do the same thing. You know, just turn it over because I can jump the starter.
Yeah, I mean, it's worked in the past.
Well, think about our options here. Maybe we can just start by doing stuff with like the, you know, tensioner and all the other stuff, because I have access to the power steering or the AC compressor super easily. I can just knock this out real quick. I mean, we'll swatch this real fast.
Yeah, and then honestly, I would say give it one more crack with the air impact, and then if that doesn't happen, then we'll look at other options.
17
that
mil
is a big boy.
Torx.
Wow. I'll hold a screwdriver. Can you hold one of them?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see how this goes. That's on tightening now? Or is that on loosening?
That's right.
Okay, now it's loosened. It doesn't look like it's getting any closer now.
Yep.
So here, take the screwdriver out. It's not touching anything. Not scraping.
8 rib swap done.
Well, guys, just do exactly what we did, and you'll be fine.
I would say don't do it with the belt. Don't let it spin like we're doing. Get 2 screwdrivers, wedge them so the fins, like point down here.
Yeah.
See the fins in there? Wedge it in so that it can't turn.
Yep.
And this is still clutch, so this was spinning just minorly, but yeah, it's in there now.
Yeah, consult your Ford dealer. No, I'm just kidding.
That's us.
We're jury rig. We don't consult anybody actually for anything.
We can swap this out real fast.
Yep.
Just need whatever size.
I mean, pretty much we could swap out all the idler pulleys really easily.
Yeah.
So the idler pulleys just a little bit wider. Right?
That yeah.
Yeah, they're just wider.
Well, we don't need to remove any of these. These are fine.
Oh, they're fine.
Well, no, actually, yeah, we do need to remove those.
Yeah,
because of big ones. This one we need to remove.
Right.
You hear that?
Oh, that's good. That sounds good.
It's probably the one that was squeaking so bad.
Man, you're gonna have all new pulleys and no power steering. That'll be cool.
Oh, I'm gonna have electric power steering.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, those are tight.
Yeah, I want to strip those. So we're gonna go ahead and just start pulling all this stuff. I'm gonna remove the tensioner here, like 313 mils. I need to modify the new tensioner to make this. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is just remove the tensioner here. This is the Franken tensioner, so there's some spacers. It's basically 2 Ford tensioners. I bought a new one here. I believe a Navigator as well.
Dude, nice. You're getting cheap parts from Navigator.
Yep. So basically that will just replace this one. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the one that is currently up against it, remove the pulley from it, and then ditch this one, because as you can see, the slot where you put, you know, your tool to release the tension, right down there,
yeah,
is a little messed up,
to say the least.
Yeah. It's cast aluminum, so if you don't get the, you know, tool all the way in, it can kind of destroy it. So having a fresh tensioner will be good. All I need to do is where you see there's some grinding marks, just got to remove some material. I think it's like that tooth right here on there. I might be wrong. I'll just look up the instructions. So some modification will need to be done.
Oh yeah, you did remove that on that.
That just gives us the 8 rib tensioner right there and spaces it properly.
Cool.
Yep, and then hopefully we can get that crank bolt out, because if we don't, we'll need the big boy, and the big boy will not fit in here with this.
That, or we do what you suggested and have the motor break it loose.
All right, guys, we got the
Oh.
The tensioner off. We just have the 2 idlers. Unfortunately, there was a problem with the tensioner that I bought, which is pretty annoying. So I do have it, you know, complete and put together right here. Unfortunately, I could not use this one for the outside because for the Department of Boost Franken tensioner, you need a drill through and it destroys the threads. And the one that's exterior needs threads. So I might just buy another tensioner, depending on, you know, how quickly I can get it before the swap. We're not going to finish today. Yeah, but I got this all put together with the 8 rib on it. Only problem, like I said, this is the 8 rib that came on the idler. It's supposed to be, but it was not machined properly. You can see the outside has a lip over the bearing. And this is what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to be flush. And when this happens, if you put it on here, that lip that was not machined, well, actually it's not shown so well on this one. When it's on the actual tensioner it belongs to, that lip touches the face of it, and when tightened down, it can't move because it's metal on metal. So I had to sacrifice this 8 rib that I bought for it. Not that bad, I'll just have to buy another one. Just kind of sucks that, you know, it basically doubles the price of this whole thing because these aren't cheap. These are probably like the same price I got the tensioner for, so that kind of sucks. And then I have this useless tensioner now. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and finish up for today. We're gonna pick up again later, but as you can see here, we got the 8 rib swap for the alternator, supercharger pulley, the 2 accessory drives or the idlers. The one that came on the tensioner actually works for this one, so that's all good. I was just kind of fitting up the belt just to see how I'd route it. Still need to do the crank as well as the AC, and I think I'm going to buy a new tensioner for the outside one because this one's kind of messed up for the tension release part of it. Also, I still need to machine some of it. There's some nubs on here you need to angle grind off. But all in all, 8 rib swaps coming together. Then we'll have to throw this guy in. This is going to be kind of the easy part. Literally just 2 bolts, steering arm, and then route the Race Car Industries or whatever they're going to name their company. Put that on. Should be good to go. And installing the crank will be just as easy as any other crank we install. Right. Just rip it in with the impact.
Yeah, we need a tool to take the hub pulley off, so or hub bolt off, harmonic balancer bolt. So you're either gonna buy a impact or we're gonna have to break it loose on the pavement.
I almost just want to buy an impact because the air impact or the air compressor, it's just not strong enough. The new model we had, and the M12 Milwaukee also not strong enough. Also is dangerous with the batteries. So
Jesus Christ.
If I can get an M18, which I think those batteries are going to be better, and it's going to be stronger than an M12, I think that'll break it loose because there's that one that's kind of like a little bit stubby, but it's like 400 foot-pounds.
Right.
And if it's more compact than our big one, then, you know, that's another route. We could take the radiator out and get the big guy in.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do that because it's a lot of effort.
Last-ditch effort, right?
Yep. But yeah, it's coming together. It'll be really sweet to have an 8 rib belt setup on this thing. It's not like I was having belt issues before, but it's just a good, you know, thing to do. These cars came with, I think, 10 rib or 8 rib, the GT 500. So just doing this is good.
For a job like this, we are surprisingly dirty.
Yeah, a lot of...
Like these pants were like freshly clean before.
Yep.
Yours were too.
Yep, it's power. I mean, everything's dirty under there. The car is mostly clean, but there's just a lot of like residual oil. I did clean up everything with brake clean, so the frame's all dried and clean from all the fluid that we dropped by accident. But yep, guys, that's going to do it. So definitely thanks for watching. Be sure to join us as a member down below. It helps us support the channel. Coincidentally, we're doing work to the Mustang here. I'm trying to sell it too. So if you are interested and you're in the PNW, like Portland, Vancouver area, it is for sale. Clearly putting in the work to make it even better. Tristan has a 4T65E built for any Grand Prix
built, so
for sale.
Yep, 99 to 02 Grand Prix. Also just W body in general those years.
And we should have a Tahoe for sale soon with a new motor.
Soon enough.
Again, be sure to you know, leave a like, subscribe, comment down below, join us as a member, do all that good stuff, and yeah, we'll see you in part 2 here, where we'll finish off the electric power steering swap.